Ask the Expert continues. Brenda Hollingsworth, a personal injury lawyer, is here. We're focusing mainly on motorcycle accident crashes involving motorcycles. Give me some idea of how many of these you would see in a year. Are they on the rise, or is there an average kind of number that you deal with?
I probably get sort of 10 to 15 fairly serious motorcycle calls a year.
That many?
Yeah, it might not seem like a lot, but it is when you consider the season.
And you're one lawyer.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, well, you're the best.
a good lawyer, but yeah, no, for sure.
But seriously, if you multiply that by, dozens of personal injury lawyers in this city alone, we're talking hundreds of crashes involving motorcycles.
Yeah, I mean, we get calls that's all Eastern Ontario area, but yeah, there's a lot of fairly serious accidents.
The unfortunate thing about motorcycle crashes is, for the most part, as you've mentioned earlier, they are quite serious. I just look at my own case, and it was a number of years ago. It wasn't here in town, but I simply got knocked off my bike, got cut off by another driver. I wasn't going that fast. Yet it took a couple of months for me to recover, and the damage to my vehicle was significant, to my motorcycle.
Right.
And the fact that sadly it was brand new and so on. But no matter, at what speed or whatever, it can be quite serious in a minor crash.
Right, something that really would have virtually no property damage to the at-fault vehicle, and your bike is totaled and you're totaled.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times what happens is the drivers anticipate the crash, and so they ditch the bike, and sometimes there isn't even a collision.
That's what I
and
did,
you just skid along the road.
Yeah, well, in my case, and I know other motorcycle riders will tell you the same thing, I knew what was about to happen, so I ditched the bike. You still end up with injuries, but your bike takes the major beat, and that's just fine. Yeah. As long as you don't get seriously injured. But we see these all the time where people are torn up pretty bad by the road, by the situation. Right.
So you want to make sure, like any accident, if that happens, you want to make sure that if it's possible to get pictures of the scene, you do. Often maybe you can't do it that day, but often the next day or the day after, skid marks are still there.
Yeah.
Sometimes when there's a motorcycle accident, there can be an oil spill.
Right.
I've had clients who've done very good job tracking where the accident happened because they've gone back and done that.
Yeah.
And especially when there's no collision, if you do ditch the bike, it's harder to prove what was going to happen because it didn't happen.
Right. The best advice I think you can give to somebody involved in this, on either side of the ledger here, is to get in touch with you as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I think getting you can get quick legal advice over the phone in the few days after the accident that'll help you preserve evidence later on.
Right.
I mean, the key, of course, is rehab. You want to get medical attention.
Exactly.
You want to get rehab. But in the meantime, evidence sort of evaporates, literally sometimes.
Does this liability apply to a second person on a motorcycle as well?
Yeah, that's right. Now, if you're a passenger on the motorbike, often you're going to you'll have two potential people who are at fault.
Sometimes they're more seriously injured than anybody.
Well, that's true, and because you can be thrown as a projectile off that bike, you sort of springboard off the driver's back.
Right.
But you could potentially have a claim against the motorcycle driver and the other vehicle. So as a passenger, your liability case is really good.
Right.
You're never going to be at fault unless you went like this.
Exactly. Yeah. Listen, give Brenda a call, set up an appointment. It's easy to do. It costs you nothing to have an assessment done.
That's right.
So make sure you do that. Get on Brenda's website, askbrenda.ca. Get in touch with Brenda Hollingsworth, personal injury lawyer. Thanks, Brenda.
Thanks a lot.
Great to have you here. Be careful on your motorcycles, my friends. Seriously, I'm looking out for you. We all should, actually. We'll be back with more right after this.